Welcome back to Showbiz Tonight. It is 30 minutes past the hour. I'm AJ Hammer coming to you from New York City with big news breaking today. Could there be a Sandra Bullock-Jesse James reunion? Well, Showbiz Tonight learned today that a judge has cleared the way for Jesse and his 6-year-old daughter, Sunny, to move to Texas, which is closer to Sandra. The judge gave Jesse custody instead of his porn star ex-wife. With me in New York is Vikki Ziegler. Vikki's a family attorney and author of a fine book called Premarital Survival Guide. Right now in Atlanta, Vinny Politan, he's a host of In Session on True TV. So when Jesse does move, he's going to reportedly be living within just a few miles of Sandra. Jesse will have his kids. Of course, Sandra helped raise those kids. Sandra, of course, will have her adopted baby, Louie. Vikki, even though she divorced this guy, Jesse James, the cheating louse, back in June because he cheated on her, could it be that they could actually get back together? Is that just too far-fetched?
I don't know. I'm squirming thinking about it. But in my world, the divorce world, anything can happen. So yes, people do reconcile when they're co-parenting together. Do I think it would happen? She's got to dig really deep to find forgiveness if she has any love for him. But I think the trust factor is going to be one of those hurdles that I'm not so sure she's going to be able to overcome.
Yeah.
Potentially, could it happen? I'm betting against it. And I think everyone's hoping that she moves on and finds a better guy.
Yeah, see, I don't see it. But for some reason, there seems to be this obsession with people wondering if Sandra and Jesse will actually reunite. I don't really get it. Take a look at this. It's the cover of the New Life and Style Weekly. It's out today. Look at that headline. Why Sandra is taking Jesse back. Vinny, we don't know if that's going to happen, but to Vikki's point, crazier things have happened. Do you think it's too far-fetched?
Well, I think there could be a wedding down the road here, don't you think? A wedding, a nice big ceremony.
Think that
maybe a maid of honor with a whole bunch of tattoos.
You don't believe that for a minute.
It would be beautiful. No, it's not going to happen, but I think everybody realizes that Sandra Bullock is a class act. She's going to do the right thing by the children.
Yeah.
It's for her, it's all about the kids, and whatever it takes to make the lives of those children better, she will do, but she's not going to get back with that guy.
Yeah, I think people do need to step back and look at it objectively like that and know, and we've seen her character really shine throughout this whole terrible ordeal that she's been through, and I do think it's all about the kids as far as she's concerned. I do have to move on right now to the new explosive developments in the Mel Gibson mess today that may be connected to the explosive tapes of him allegedly ranting and raving against his ex-girlfriend, Oksana Grigorieva. Well, Showbiz Tonight confirmed today the LA County Sheriff's Department is looking into extortion allegations made against Oksana. The claim is that Oksana may have demanded money from Mel to keep the tapes private. Now, Vikki, if Oksana did demand money from Mel, would this definitely be a case of criminal extortion?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you look at the legal definition in California, extorting money from somebody with force to hide something is absolutely extortion. She could ultimately get up to 4 years in prison if she's found guilty of extortion. Additionally, with respect to the tapes, what happened? Have they been doctored? Have they been edited once they were handed over to the DA's office? She could also be charged with wire tampering. And that could be very serious. So we're going to see a turn of events potentially. We don't know what's happening. I mean, these tapes have not been authenticated.
Right.
But extortion, potentially, if proven, is a very serious crime that she could be charged with.
And as is the case in most of these types of situations, right now it's a he said, she said deal. She's saying she never asked for money. She didn't even want the tapes to get out. She has no interest in Mel's money. Well, the brand new extortion investigation comes on the heels of the 6th tape of Mel's alleged rant released by Radar Online. I gotta say, a lot of people who have heard these tapes say that Oksana almost sounds like she's reading from a script. Listen to this part of it.
Mel, you're imbalanced. There's something wrong with you. You need medication.
Shut up,
You cannot raise this child with these symptoms.
What?
You're acting as a crazy man right now. And you have been for many, many months. And you hit me and you hit her whilst she was in my hands. Mel, you're losing your mind. You need medication.
You need a kick up the for being a gold-digging, and I want my child, and no one will believe you.
Yeah, and if that is Mel Gibson, he's not reading from a script. But I completely understand when you hear that, how you could think that she recorded him in some kind of studio and possibly read it from a script. I don't even think that matters if that's the case, but perhaps it could bolster Mel's extortion claim. That leads to the Showbiz Tonight Flashpoint tonight. Could the audio tapes actually backfire on Oksana? Vinny, what do you think?
I think there's a possibility it can. Now, it doesn't, you know, if in fact that's Mel Gibson on the tapes, it does not necessarily help him, but it hurts her also and puts them on more equal footing for whatever they need to negotiate here. But yeah, she's got a problem here. If in fact these things are illegally recorded and there was an attempt to get money, to extort money, it's a problem. But then again, there's always a fine line between negotiations and extortion sometimes. I'd like to know who else is allegedly involved in here. Does she have lawyers involved as well? And exactly, is there any recording or memorialization of these alleged conversations or negotiations or attempted extortion that she had with Mel Gibson? So there's a lot that needs to be done, which is why I think the sheriff's doing the right thing here by opening up the investigation.
Yeah, what do you think, even if she had nothing to do with the release of the tapes as she claims, could the fact that they're even out there, to the point of our Showbiz Flashpoint, could that backfire on Oksana?
I think, yeah, this is about credibility here. Who is telling the truth? Is there a purpose, or was she really afraid that Mel Gibson was going to come and hurt her again and her child? So really, is it about protection under the domestic violence statute, or is this really an extortion plot because she wanted $10 or $15 million as alleged? So certainly all of these points are going to come into play. The question really becomes, in the custody case, what in fact did Mel Gibson say? You can be lured into something and you can be tape recorded if there's an exception, but if it is authenticated and Mel Gibson said these things, they don't help him at all.
We don't know what was going on, why she was motivated to record those, and why she may have been motivated to write a script and push his buttons so he would say those things that may have already been out there, if you know what I'm saying about that. Now, Showbiz Tonight has repeatedly reached out to Mel's reps to verify the authenticity of the tapes. He hasn't commented yet, and I expect that he's not going to anytime soon. In more big breaking Mel Gibson news today, in his moment of crisis, Mel's reportedly opening up to none other than, yes, Britney Spears. This may sound absolutely nuts, but Mel did reach out to Britney back in 2008. That was when she was spiraling out of control. Now, there are reports floating around that Britney is coming to Mel's rescue. Of course, there's no way of really knowing if they're talking on the phone every night, as has been reported. But Vinny, what do you think? Could Britney actually help Mel?
Well, I think he needs help. If, in fact, that's him on the tapes, he needs to speak to someone, and maybe that's a starting point, finding a friend who you can lean on, someone you can talk to, someone you can bounce things off of. But, I mean, this one is just crazy, a crazy pair that you wouldn't expect to be together. But, hey, you know, wherever you reach out and find help, take it, because if that's him on those tapes, he needs a friend.
Yeah, well, she certainly, Vikki, has experienced some low lows, and I imagine he is right now.
Yeah, she can probably say, I've walked in your shoes, I know what you're going through, I know it's very difficult regardless of whether you did this or you didn't do this. But I think that friendships are great, that's wonderful, but professional mental help, I think Mel Gibson in some regard needs it. I don't think he should be taking it from Britney Spears.
All right, fair enough. Vikki Ziegler, Vinny Politan, I thank you both. Now let me turn it over